Hello Orchid friends, welcome back to my channel. Wherever you are, I hope you're having a great day, staying healthy and staying safe. Today we're looking at this primary hybrid. It's a Phalaenopsis orchid and it's a cross between violacea and zebrina. And for the very first time, because I was bored, I went online and researched this cross, violacea and zebrina. And I realized this orchid's register name is actually African Sunset. So here you go. This is my Phalaenopsis African Sunset. But for almost 5 or 6 years since I got this orchid, I never knew its register name African Sunset. So I've always just referred to it as the violacea hybrid or violacea primary hybrid. Now I know this name, I think it'll be a lot more interesting, for me anyways. This orchid has always been a very robust, reliable bloomer. It's a sequential bloomer, and every year the older spikes would always elongate to give me 2 flowers, maybe 3, and because it has multiple spikes already, so I tend to get 5 or 6 flowers out of each bloom cycle. And every year it also will produce 1 flower spike, and maybe 2 years or so it will start to retire its oldest spike. So throughout the years it has produced quite a bit of spike, and it has just always brought me a lot of joy. Now, the fragrance, it does have something, but I don't know if I would call it fragrance because it's more on the stinky side, and I think it comes from violacea. It does have that spiciness to it, but overall, it's just not a sweet scent. I would even describe it as almost like a cough syrup type of medicinal scent, which is not my favorite, but at least it's something. It's some smell. I don't know if it's better than no smell, but it is something. I didn't buy this orchid for its fragrance. I bought this orchid for the pattern, the markings on the flower. I was going through a phase where I was very attracted to orchids with patterns and or markings on flowers. So during that phase, I think I purchased a couple Ludamaniana hybrids and 2 Ludamaniana species, and there were other orchids with patterns that I can't think of names right now, but it was a phase I was in, and this orchid was part of that purchase during that particular phase. I'm kind of over it now, and I'm pretty happy with the amount of orchids like this type of orchids in my collection. So I don't think I will be adding any more new orchids anytime soon. This type of variety anyways. So because it's a sequential bloomer, so I always keep the green spikes, because every new bloom season it would elongate and give me more buds and more blooms. So if you have this one, keep the green spike. Next time it would give you more blooms. Don't cut it off just because it stops blooming. It is also a really hardy orchid because I'd never really done anything special in terms of care, and this orchid just kind of does its thing, growing leaves and roots consistently. It is grown in a semi-hydro setup, semi-hydroponics, and the pebbles that I use, it's a mixture of hydrocorn and manto clay. Ever since the beginning, since its initial repot after I purchased it, it was put in this container with this medium. I might have repotted it one other time just to readjust the position, but I didn't change out the medium or anything. This orchid just, does its thing, never gave me any issues, so I'm quite thankful for that. Even though I don't care for its fragrance, it does give me a lot of joy when it's in bloom. And also the leaves are really kind of interesting too. I mean, it's typical primary hybrid leaves, you know, lighter green, but it does have that it's a lot longer. It's not wide, but it's skinny and long, and you know, for some reason I just kind of like that look and feel. So when I put it up high on the mantle above my fireplace, it just looks amazing. And just with a little bit of sunlight coming through the window, makes this orchid look very, very stunning. In terms of care, this orchid receives 1/4 cup of water. Sometimes I do go down to about 1/8 of a cup, depending on the season. Particularly if it's winter, I may go down to 1/8 of a cup, but primarily 1/4 cup is what this orchid requires. And sometimes it doesn't always achieve the 7-day wet dry cycle, so I typically would check on this orchid 1 or 2 days before the next watering day, just to see if there is still so much moisture in the pot, and if there is, then I will skip a watering. Another thing I like about this orchid is its lip. Just like Speciosa or Tetraspis orchids, this orchid also has that fuzzy lip that I love. It does have some hair, or I could say, you know, it's got hairy lips. So it's always been very interesting for me to see its bloom, and with the fuzzy lip plus the marking on the flower. So overall, I really enjoy this orchid. Yeah, you see lots of aerial roots, but because this orchid has done so well, so I haven't really repotted this orchid and put the aerial roots, make the aerial roots grow into the repot them into the new container or new medium. I think this orchid does so well that I think I don't need to break something that's been working. So the aerial roots, occasionally I do spray it down with some just water, but for the most part I just kind of let them be, and if it does get dry and eventually desiccate and die, that's fine, because this orchid has enough roots in the container, in the medium, so it doesn't bother me. But when there are a lot of aerial roots, it's just a bonus, because I also love watching or seeing my orchids with aerial roots dangling. This is all I have for you today. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you would like to get more orchid related videos from my channel, please subscribe and turn on the notification. I want to wish you happy growing, and I will talk to you in my next video. Ciao!